So yeah, here's the big plot twist. The last mission of Joey's campaign is actually the first mission of Kaiba's campaign. And this causes a huge continuity error because this is where he was the first time around, where he fought the two Resistance members. But he doesn't mention seeing Joey at any point. He's confused that Yugi's here until way later, and most importantly, he's got the dragons with him. How does he have the dragons with him? They're all ground. Okay, good. You get those, like, way later, dude. Also, the last recruitable monsters in the game are up here again. I guess we'll go get them, I don't know. Oh, I guess I should have... Should I have equipped more dragon capture jars? It's not really worth it. We only need, like, one. I don't think this is going to activate in time. Damn it. It's not gonna. Alright, I gotta do something risky here. Thank you, yeah, hope you have a good night tonight. All we gotta do is get through this little onslaught, and then the challenge run is finished. I'm not too worried about what's going to happen, largely because, you know, sure, they're hitting us all in a straight line, but as soon as the cannon activates, we can just replace it with the mystical elf. Our team can survive pretty effectively because, as we've determined, the AI is less than genius. Unless you get multiple turns in a row like that, you cheating punk. Oh, that wasn't even that strong of an attack, though. Never mind. I'm not gonna fuse now, but soon. Or maybe I should fuse now, because when you think about it, like, whatever damage happens to the fusion doesn't carry over for the next fight. Okay, on the Eagle's next turn, I'll fuse. Alright, then. You have a special attack. What is it? Pretty generic, I guess. Yeah, I don't even think I have to worry about Mokuba surviving this round. Or if he does, it'll be just barely. But if we pushed far enough back, we should have to... Or we should end up fighting Mathis' team next, or Marthas, whatever his name is. Also, I want to comment that this is not really... I feel like this design is awkward for being the last level in a game, where it's just, you're in a base kind of close to the enemy's base, and it's just a beeline of monsters in rapid succession. That just feels kind of cheap to me. And I get the idea, like, chronologically, in terms of the game's timeline, this is not the last thing you do, but you get what I mean. It's the last mission you play in the campaign. frankly speaking, I'm not concerned with losing anything, because all we gotta do is have at least one team survive. And, you know, it seems mildly threatening that Kaiba's got the 3 blue eyes with him, because of course they're going to fuse, but that's why we have all those Sword of Dragon souls. We have the dragon capture jars. We don't really have anything to worry about right now. Okay, I'm not going to say we don't have anything to worry about, but the odds of him doing anything substantial are pretty damn slim. I hate when they, like, warp forward like that. So, I think the reason sometimes monsters just flip forward is it has something to do with overworld speed and how they were pushed back a little bit by the unit in front of them, so it's like now they have the opportunity to move further ahead or something, I don't know. Yeah, get rid of Jinzo first. I don't know, there is a chart I see going around for, like, the speed of different monsters in this game. Overworld speed, I should specify. And I'm actually kind of shocked. There's a few monsters that are way faster than I thought. So my original statements like the Horn Imp and Ansatsu being the fastest were correct. It also says Wing Eagle here is one of the fastest, which I can believe, just because of how many missions we've been getting blitzed. But it also says the Harpies and Karibo are about the same level of speed, which I have difficulty believing because, I don't know, it feels like Ansatsu and Horn Imp just naturally do move faster, at least by a little bit. I guess it's a close difference and not an astronomical difference is probably what it is. But all of the slowest monsters are water, and most of the second slowest are machines. Or they're like spirits that are treated as stone. Or I guess stone that are treated as spirit monsters, like Giant Soldier of Stone and Millennium Golem. I don't know, all this is really telling me is what monsters I should prioritize, and unsurprisingly, the flying monsters are usually a better option than the ground monsters. The only real exceptions, of course, being the fastest stuff. It says here the Uraby Raptor is one of the fastest, too. I might have to test that. I guess I never really paid much attention to it. So now that we're just whittling down these freaks and actually doing a pretty good job at it, I gotta say, this run was not nearly as daunting as I thought it was going to be at first. Granted, I did not do Kaiba's campaign first, which I feel will change things by a substantial amount, just because, you know, he doesn't have access to a lot of the strongest or fastest monsters right away. He doesn't start with Ansatsu or Horn Imp. He has missions like Bandits again, where if you have to just survive for a while, then it's going to be pretty difficult to do so. He has the face-off against Yugi, where I'm pretty sure, even if Joey's Flame Swordsman in that fight doesn't have the Salamandra ability, I'm almost positive that Yugi's Dark Magicians still have the Dark Burning Magic team attack, which, if you remember, was probably our biggest hurdle in that fight. So, that's going to be interesting when I do it, and as a result, I'm probably going to need to practice Kaiba's campaign a bit from like a fresh save file just to chart things off. So we might end up doing that. Which one did that take? Did that take the one that was already pretty much dead? Yeah, of course. Alright. Just in time. Alright, Dragon Zombie alone can pretty much solo these freaks. Something I'm curious about is, I gave Buster Blader 3 of the Sword of Dragon Souls, and his ability naturally does heavy damage to dragons. So I'm curious if we send him against Kaiba's team, is it going to stack? Because if it does, that would be like a one-shot kill, almost. It would at least be close. So we'll do this fight so that these two get at least a little bit of EXP. Because even though they're at level 1, they've still got a decent stat line right now. Yeah, Jinzo will go down pretty soon. As soon as we have the ability to do so, we can just run from this fight, force him away. We might not even need to, necessarily. They're pretty much only attacking Dragon Zombie, which is kind of concerning because I don't want to lose it at the beginning of the mission, but at the same time, it's not like we're really in trouble or anything. Oh, there I go, pushing the mouth button. Yeah, that's an old internet expression when people used to say push the mouth button. I forget who I got that from exactly. I want to say it was Proton John, or maybe some of the people that had worked with him on different side projects. Basically all that means is you're jinxing it, but they felt that saying that was too mainstream, so they coined the phrase push the mouth button. Oh hey, I can heal. Yay. I guess I'll tell a bit of a funny story about that. So, when I was in 8th grade, I used that expression once. I forget exactly what the context was. Somebody in my class was talking about something bad happened. I'm like, oh, you're pushing the mouth button. They all look at me like, what are you going on about? And I have to explain, like, the mouth button is a theoretical concept that when you speak something into existence, it becomes significantly more likely to happen. And this one girl, Brooke, looks at me, she's like, do you just, like, research this stuff online or something? I mean, basically. I don't know. I had awkward social skills growing up. I still do, but I like to think I've gotten at least a little better with them, you know? Oh, is Buster Blader gonna go down? Not quite. That was pretty damn close, though. If the RNG was not in my favor, I feel like that could have been it. I don't think I'm going to KO the second one, but I may as well try. No, I'm not even gonna get close. I don't know why I assume Dragon Zombie does more damage than he actually does. I think it's just because the poison is, like, so prominent that it actually has a huge impact on everything. We're still gonna get the 5-second countdown, right? Because if not... Just barely. I mean, that's a decent buff. Could have been a lot better, though. It's kind of sad they gotta level up like 10 times to gain even 100 HP. You take over. Is this it? No, that's not it. Not even close. I was being optimistic. Also, I like how they're inside of each other. That's not supposed to happen. So, they don't have any items. You make them stronger, so I want to get rid of you first. It's strange to me that you can poison machine monsters in this game, now that I think about it. Especially because, wasn't that the point of an old equip spell, like germ infection or something, that didn't work on machines? Now, I'd argue germs shouldn't really be able to work on pyros or rocks either, but whatever. I know somebody I followed on YouTube said that. I don't remember who. It might have been Dual Logs, because let's be fair, if you're talking about obscure old Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you're probably talking to Dual Logs. That's not enough. Seriously? I'm just gonna finish him off. I'm not risking any nonsense. If it does the spray attack one more time, we're probably going to have this team retreat and have Joey's team take point or something. I sort of get the idea of blinding machines, though. At the very least, it's like you did something to disrupt their, not sensors, but whatever system they use for vision, I guess, because you wouldn't really say sight for machines, or would you? I don't know. I think it's one of those things you need to know the technical term, otherwise you're just going to say the wrong thing constantly. Field of vision? I don't know. It's what you hear in movies, anyway. Something I'm thinking of right now. Okay. There is this old, obscure... Oh, that's not good. I should probably just run. There's an old, obscure movie with an actor called Red Brown, who was big in these, like, low-budget films from the 90s. I think 80s and 90s, I guess. This is a movie called Robo War, which is basically just a ripoff of Terminator. Like, it's not even close. And instead of... Or no, I'm sorry, not Terminator, Predator. The same person who made this movie did another movie that's a ripoff of Terminator, I think. That's why I got confused. But Robo War, it's pretty much just a recreation of Predator to the point where they shamelessly redo a lot of lines of dialogue, and they replicate that infamous spray fire into the jungle scene several times. But instead of an alien, they're just fighting this cyborg super soldier. And it's got this poor vision. We see, like, POV shots from the robot on a few separate occasions. What he does is, later in the climax of the movie, he throws some napalm at the robot's face, which temporarily blinds it and damages it. And in spite of the fact that the napalm's power doesn't actually hurt the robot in any real way, he, like, spaz punches it and that knocks it down. This thing takes rapid fire and doesn't even, like, slow down remotely, but a spaz punch, yeah, that'll finish it off. It's making me think right now of a game I'm going to get to in the near future on my channel. No, it has nothing to do with any Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Although, if the game was made in the 80s with the same level of quality, they probably would have got Schwarzenegger to voice the main character. Just call it a hunch. Or, you know, the game would have had to have had an actual budget to do that. fine. He's healed. Yeah, we've really got nothing to worry about here, do we? If you weren't a twit like I was and you actually kept most of the fastest monsters through this point, you can just beeline directly to Kaiba and get to him before any of these attackers get to you. It's not difficult, I wouldn't say. But we're trying to play this mostly legit. At least in terms of the challenge rules I created. Man, how do you do that much damage? I'm actually kind of surprised that the Monster Tamer's this close to losing. I guess it's not exactly a huge stat line, but still. I was actually worried that was going to finish the Monster Tamer. See, this is the thing that confuses me, because sometimes they move forward, and just there, they got pushed back. What's that about? I'll never understand it. Whatever, another wave of this. I guess we'll get the recruitable monsters just because we're not really in a hurry, and I may as well show that off. There was a few throughout this game I skipped, but I guess it's kind of important to show these last ones because they're legitimately pretty tough. Not a good start. I have a bad feeling that I'm going to be healing this team a little bit. But as long as I can hit them with the tidal wave, this should do substantial damage. Also, we just completely flooded the town we're trying to protect. Great job, guys. I guess for curiosity's sake, I'll see what this does on a team that isn't, you know, an Egyptian god. Probably should have tried this earlier, but now I'm legitimately interested. That did nothing! What the fr- This does nothing! Am I missing something here? Does it not work on spirits or machines? Like, what the heck is going on? Alright, whatever. I get another turn to red medicine. It's fine. Maybe I should have done that with the magician. Nah, he's gonna be fine. He's got a good stat line. I hope. Why do I get the feeling... Okay, no, they're attacking on the door. I was about to say, I could really regret this in a second. No, actually, this is the opposite of regret. I made the smartest decision, apparently. Got some weird vendetta against Aquamador. If she goes down, she goes down. Or he. Yeah, I remember looking up in the other video that apparently Aquamador's a dude. I'm not questioning it. Seriously, what did I miss? Did I misread this or something? Lowers the attack points. Are you talking about their action points? Let's see. Because I wasn't really paying attention to that, but... that was it. You call it action points in other... whatever. So I guess it did work on Ra, then? I have no idea. At this point, I'm not even going to bother questioning it. Okay, I'm going to need to write that down. For whatever reason, it just uses a completely different term than the other spells that matter in this context. May as well use the last blue medicine. I could finish it off, but whatever. We've already won the fight. Plus, I'm a little more worried about Zoa. I actually don't know if this team is strong enough to take that out. But we'll find out in a moment. I guess if I still got 2 Mesmeric Control, I got nothing to worry about. Oh no, he's moving slow as ass. Alright. Joey, earn your keep. So our biggest threat here is just a wave of dark monsters. If you happen to have a good number of spirits, then I guess you'd probably be well equipped for this situation, but they don't have any items. Which is kind of... I'm just gonna say it straight up, I think that's pretty stupid, just because they have access to level 2 magic and you're not gonna use it. Sure, levels 1 and 2 magic aren't great per se, but you can do something with it. And honestly, their stat lines aren't even anything impressive. I guess Rocket Warrior might be in a bit of trouble if I don't take out the Summoned Skull quickly. Let's see. Honestly, that wasn't even that strong of a hit. I think we'll be fine. That was actually a decent level up. I guess it's because the monsters were so high in strength. But that's about the only thing they were doing correctly. Alright, yeah, I guess we can just finish this sucker off. Like, I've got very little to worry about at this point. Alright, time to show off this team. Yep, there we go. So the last recruitable monsters in this game are Kazajin of the Wind, Skull Knight, and Pumpkin, King of Ghosts. Pretty strong unit, actually, because this would be the last of the Gate Guardian trio. The only downside is, oh, I don't know, we already finished the campaign, so we have no real reason to summon the dang thing. This guy's gonna be annoying. Well, that doesn't really help you because none of your party members are dark, but whatever. Oh my god, he's actually doing it. What a waste of effort, honestly. So, right now I'm thinking, there were very few enemies in this game that had the ability to blind us, at least that I saw in the regular campaign. I don't really think any of the enemies in Joey's story had blinding magic, per se. It was just kind of a secondary ability for their attacks. So, Skull Knight's Reaper Blast theoretically could have worked in cases where we get blinded a lot, but I straight up don't think it's really come up until this point. Aside from very niche fights. I don't think it has anyway. Because, I mean, look at this. This is a pretty substantial amount of damage, and the fact that you can't dodge, you know, that's impressive, honestly. But getting it at the very end of the game just feels like a waste. Yeah, of course I missed when I would have finished him. surprised that he's winning in terms of points. I guess I was healing quite a bit, so that probably explains it. You have got to be kidding. Right when I was about to finish him. Okay, well, if I take him out, that's going to be enough. Skull Knight does count as the leader of this group, so this should be more than enough. Guess I'll hit Kazajin. I'm probably not going to KO either, but it's the fact of simply doing something. Oh, I forgot he was defending. Damn it. Okay, yeah, I guess we're fine now. That's more than enough of a deficit. It's not really worth continuing the fight then. Let's just guard and get out of here. Alright, we're just going to test my theory regarding whether or not that affects stacks, and then if it doesn't work, Mai's team can do enough damage, and then if that somehow still doesn't work, Joey's team is more than enough to finish him off. I'm sure of it. It's just polymerization for each, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, let's begin. It's theoretically possible Buster Blader won't even get an attack, because their stat line is pretty damn high. 3 Blue Eyes at level 99, yeah, it's gonna do some damage. Alright, let's find out. That didn't stack, damn it. Alright, nice theory. I'll probably lose this team, but I can just whittle him down a good amount. My main strategy for doing this, and it's a little useless now seeing as how I missed, but if I can get them to at least... If I take out a single Blue Eyes, then that's going to make it exponentially easier for the next team. Even if that doesn't happen, if I at least get this guy to waste a polymerization, because he can't heal them. If I can just do that, then it's going to make things easier, because if the Blue Eyes who gets the first turn doesn't have a polymerization anymore, they are less likely to heal, or they're less likely to fuse, and I don't have to worry about quite as much right away. So you're guarding. I'll do the same, I'm curious. If one of them just tries to Haymaker Serpent Knight Dragon, then Dragon Zombie's probably going to be fine. Now that I learned how effective guarding is when you have multiple fields of Phantom, I'm not too worried about anything else. That's quite a shame. That could have been enough to finish this fool off. Can I run? I actually ran. Wow, so Dragon Zombie survived this entire experience. That's kind of impressive, honestly. Last party member standing on several separate occasions. Now, if I can get the opportunity attack. Yes! This is over, Kaiba. I didn't even need to use a Dragon Capture Jar. Which is kind of funny, because I'm pretty sure I gave a good chunk of them to Tristan anyway. There, you see why I said this last mission was basically just a victory lap? Aside from the fact the enemies were coming at us kind of quickly, we didn't have much to worry about. Yeah, my team is more than strong enough to finish these two off with very little effort. Though I guess now I gotta remember, don't stack the Sword of Dragon Soul, because it doesn't really seem to make a difference. Let's have Joey do the honors for the last dragon. So, I'm quick double checking how many monsters I lost during this entire campaign. I think the estimate here... So, having lost the 3 blue eyes factored in, this is like around 30 monsters, which, sure, that seems a little bad at first, but then you realize a lot of them were pretty low stats, or we get them way late in the game at level 1, and I just kind of use them as sacrificial lambs. And, you know, we kept how many powerful monsters? I mean, for goodness sakes, I barely used the Harpy Ladies this entire campaign, and they're some of the strongest monsters in here when all used together. So, yeah, I'd say this was not as challenging as I thought. Now to practice doing Kaiba's campaign first. So there, I guess that covers the continuity. Kaiba let them run, which is something that Marthas and Heishin were not fans of. So yeah, all of this apparently somehow happened before Yugi's second mission, which is shocking. This game has such bad continuity, like, it's not even... I get the idea. I get what they were going for, you know? Like, the Sonic Adventure games were a thing where there's all these interconnected stories, and they kind of wanted to do something similar with Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters. Especially since, you know, Team Yugi versus Team Kaiba, and then people being Team Joey. That was a pretty fitting thing. But, ultimately, this game could have been handled a lot better. I would definitely like to see another game in the style of this, but there's very little chance that'll happen now. Aside from fan games, maybe. Still, it was a good game when I was growing up, and I enjoy looking back at it. All that's left to do now, like I said before, prepare for Kaiba's campaign.